Hello, I'm Jocelyn Lay, a 7th and 8th grade science teacher at Parkview Middle School, and today I'm going to show you how to set up a class in Google Classroom and utilize Google Classroom to enhance digital instruction and digital learning. So first off, we're going to start at the home screen. So this is what my home screen looks like. You can see the classes that I both instruct, and I'm also part of a couple other classes as a quote unquote student. So I can show you what that looks like on the student end too, because it is different than the teacher end. And there, unfortunately, is not a feature where you can switch between the two in your own class. Hopefully, one day that comes about. But until then, we're going to start by setting up a class for us to use and explore the features in Google Classroom. So I'm going to start over here in the upper right-hand corner where this little plus sign is, and I am going to create a class. I'm going to name this Google Classroom Sandbox. Then you can include your class sections. So I usually do that by hour. You can look through the kind of automatically populated classroom list and then your room number. I put that in. That is optional if you don't have a room number. And then you can go ahead and click create. So then eventually it will create the class for you and it will bring you to the kind of the front page of your class, which is the Google Classroom stream. So here's the stream. This is where announcements about posts for assignments will be made. And you can also just kind of create general announcements here or post kind of general materials that are not assignments on here too. You can see it will show any upcoming work. And there are these 4 tabs across the top for your classwork, the people in your class, and grades if you are using Google Classroom for grades. Most of us probably have a different platform that we would be using for grading. I do not use Google Classroom for grading purposes. I merely use it for sharing and pushing out information about homework, copies of homework for students, and instructions and due dates. So I will be focusing on those things. When you set up your Google Classroom, you can change your theme. You can upload a photo. I have my classes color coded, so each of my themes goes with whatever color the class is that I teach. Up here at the gear in the upper right-hand corner are class settings. Here you can change any class details that may change throughout the year. And then the general settings. So here's your class code that will show up on your stream. You can display it full screen. You can copy it, you can reset it if you need to, or you can disable it when you no longer want students to join your class. A lot of teachers choose to change the stream to teacher comments only. That's how I choose to do it, but you can choose to do it however you so please. And there is a way to condense your notifications so students don't just get a huge chunk of text on the stream part. It will condense it until they open it up. Deleted items. This can show deleted items. And then Guardian summaries. On the desktop version, currently I'm on the Chromebook version, so I've opened this up and am doing this in Chrome, but on the desktop version, it seems to automatically be off. Here in the Chromebook version, it is automatically on. I prefer Guardian summaries to be off just because if you post daily like I do, parents will just get an influx of emails from you every time you post something. And I find that really is difficult for parents to kind of digest. So I turn it off. If you have it off, but another teacher has it on, and a parent is receiving emails from that class, they will not receive emails from your class if it's off on your settings. Grading, if you choose to use this for grading purposes, you can do grade calculations through Google. That option is there. That is a newer option. I do not use it, but you can use it if you'd like. Once you save those, it's going to take you back to your stream. Here's that class code again. You can make that full screen, upcoming assignments, and classroom communications. But we're going to go on to classwork because that is probably the most important feature for most educators in Google Classroom. So here you can see assign work to your class here. You can create anything from assignments, quiz assignments, questions, material, reuse posts, and topics. The one that I use most often is assignments because it allows me to make a copy of each of the things that I have in Google Classroom that I want to assign, or excuse me, Google Drive that I've created as an educator that I want to share with my students. You can do quiz assignments, questions. Material is nice because if you just want to share a video with the students or an article to read or a photograph to look at, you can do that through material. You can also reuse past post. Topics, if you would like to set up the topics for your class for the year or the semester or the quarter or the trimester, you can do that right away here, or you can do it as you go along, whatever you're more comfortable with or the most comfortable with. I just add the topics as I go along throughout the school year. Up here is Google Calendar. This will, if you click on this, it will open your calendar up. And if your calendar is synced with Google Classroom, which it should automatically do, you will see any of the assignment due dates coming up on your calendar as a reminder. And for those of us that have Google Calendar synced on our phone with our school accounts, I do get notifications on my phone saying, hey, you assigned this out to students and you have it marked as due today. It's a nice reminder in case you've changed any due dates to update them on Google Classroom. Class Drive folder, if you open this up, it takes you to the classroom folder in Google Drive that is automatically created for this class. And you can see every assignment that you've posted. I've not posted any for this class yet, but in some of my other classes, you can see each of the daily assignments. So here's some from years past. For some reason, it posts to a 2016-2017 archive, but all of my classes are posted there. And if I open each of these folders, I can see student work in each of those from years past or from my current year. I don't use this feature very often. I get to all of that work through Google Classroom, but some teachers do, and it is there for you if you choose to use that. So I'm going to go back to Classroom and I'm going to show you how to create an assignment. So here is Create, and I'm going to go to Assignment, and here's this window. So we can start with an assignment I just posted today for my 7th grade students. So circulatory system stations. I personally, and I saw another teacher do this on their Google Classroom, and I think that this is a great way to do this. I like to put the date each day I post, so that way a student can that was absent can go back and say, oh, I was absent on this day. Here's the post, here are the lesson materials, and I can get a copy of whatever I need from that day. It's just a nice way to organize things chronologically. Yes, Google Classroom does that for you, but just having that date there, I find for me and for my students works really well. You can do whatever is best for you. Instructions, these are optional, but once again, I find that if I am succinct and short and give the students kind of the extra information that they need so they understand what to do with whatever I attach down here, it is very useful. You can also put in learning targets. You can put in reminders for due dates, even though that will also show up in the post. And instructions. So for example, you could tell students, please look at the video that I posted and then open up the document or the worksheet that's attached to check out what you need to do for homework that's due on Friday. I just feel like if I add something here, it does help, and I can always go back and show students, did you read these instructions? They're there for a reason. It's also helpful for parents who might go in through their student's account or the child's account, just so they have an idea of what to do and what's going on. The add is where then you would add this information. So the first one is Google Drive. So this is where most of us are going to get any worksheets or materials that we've created for students to add to the assignment. So I'm going to look up that circulatory system stations. You can see I already have templates in place for most students. Here, we'll go to my drive, or shared drives actually, because I collaborate with my colleagues on creating these. I have digital lessons, circulatory system, and here it is. So I can do the control click to get both of the things that I need for this. So one is directions and one is the student packet. And view file. So here are the options. So students can view file. That just means that they can look in it edit file. This means that they can edit your original document. I recommend shying away from that, but once again, if the purpose is for them to edit your original document, then go ahead, it's there for you. And then make a copy for each student. I like to do this because some students like to annotate or make notes on the materials I provide for them. It is up to you. So the student packet where they need to answer questions, I definitely need to make a copy for each student for that. Once I've done that, I am going to go here, and if I need to add this assignment to any additional classes, I can do that. All students will just push this out to every student in my class. I do not have any students in this class currently, but if I had students in this class, all of their names would show up. This is nice. This is a great new feature. If you have modified documents that you need to share with special ed students or students that are RTI students, you can select only those students and have the modified documents pushed out to them only. So there is that option now, which is really nice. Points, I just leave this, but you can set it as no grade or ungraded. I'll either just leave it as 100 or ungraded because my students know that I do not use Google Classroom for grading, and I would recommend making an announcement about that to both students and parents at the beginning of the year so you're not fielding questions about it. No due date or a due date. So let's say for these students, this is due on Friday. Topic. So right now I don't have any topics because I didn't create them up front. So I can create topics here. If you want to add a rubric, you can do that. There is an option to create one, reuse one you've already had, or import from Sheets. Once again, this is really if you're using Google Classroom as a platform for grading. This rubric feature would actually be nice because you could include feedback in there for your students and then put their grades on whatever grading platform you use, whether that's Infinite Campus or something else. And then originality reports. This is new. This is a newer feature where it can check for plagiarism for any documents that students have shared with you, like essays or notes or anything like that. So there is that option. If you need to, you can also create a document, a slideshow, a sheet, drawing, or a form for students if you don't already have one created in Drive. Other options which you can't see. Here, I'm going to move myself over here. Oh, there I am. Okay, I'm moving my webcam. So if I go to add, I can add links to websites or digital labs or digital activities I want my students to go to. Files, if there are any files. So for example, if you're on a desktop doing this and not a Chromebook, so if you're using Windows or Mac or something else and you need to upload a file that you've created and you have saved on that particular computer or on a USB drive, you can do that. And then YouTube, this is a really commonly used one. I will sometimes put in videos as a resource for students, so you can look up YouTube videos. And they will populate the list, the search list for you, or you can put a direct URL of a specific video that you want over here. So I know that there are, oh, my video that I wanted disappeared. So I can add that video in if I want. So let's just say that this is the one I want. I'm going to put that in there, and now my students can access that too. Once I have it, I will click, I have everything set up and I've checked everything over. I have all my classes chosen. I can go to assign, or I can schedule an assignment. By the way, you can only schedule an assignment for one class at a time. So if you have multiple classes here, that feature will not work. Or you can save it as a draft, but I'm ready to assign it, so I'm going to assign it. And then once it's assigned, it will go back to that class work page. There it is. And there's my assignment. And my topics are going to start to show up over here. People, the People tab, this is where all my students will show up. And then if you're choosing to use the grading feature, grades will show up. That's and that is just a very quick tutorial on how to use Google Classroom. One last thing before, once you have your assignments in place and you click on them, it will show you the number of students that have turned in an assignment and who still has the assignment out. I often like to put this up on the board to show the students who have turned in the assignment, and then you will start to see more students turning in the assignments very quickly. Please remind students that they need to hit the turn in button on their end. Otherwise, it will not show up as turned in. So sometimes they'll add in things, but they won't be turned in. This view assignment is where you can see the instructions that you gave to students, and you can always go back and edit them here, or you can delete them. Student work, once again, you'll see all your students and their work here and any attachments that they have created. And class comments, if you want to send out a comment about an assignment, you can do that here too. And that is what it looks like on the teacher end of things. Here is what it looks like on the enrolled end. So I'm just going to show you real quick. This is a newly created classroom from another teacher that I am a student in. And you can see some announcements that this teacher has made. Under class work, you can see the lesson that was posted for today. And if I click on it, you can see instructions, and then I hit view assignment. And here is my assignment. Now I've already added some work to the assignment. Students on this side are able to add things from their Google Drive, links, files, documents, pictures, anything. And then once again, they need to hit turn in order for it to get turned into you. Just to show you what that looks like. Here are some of my student work here's some student work, that's already been turned into me. And then this is what it looks like when you have students out. And I can see all of my students, things that they've attached or not attached. And some of them also have left me little messages, and usually I reply back with some feedback, just saying like, thanks, I received it. That is optional too, but that is just something that I do. Hopefully all of this information is helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out or check out YouTube. There are plenty of videos and other tutorials that can help you get through navigating Google Classroom. Good luck, and check it out. I hope you enjoy it.